No, it looks like you, okay.
Okay, Gary, you can start.
Okay. Okay, Nick, you're going to record the minutes here and hopefully send out a recording on it as well. So we're calling the meeting to order here at 9:30. And I would like to welcome any new members, but I don't see that we have any new members or visitors that are on our Zoom. So we'll move on to that. The meeting protocol will be the secretary and treasurer reports, business meeting, program, speaker, not applicable, show and tell. We'll continue to have that. As far as officer reports go, I'm going back and from our last meeting, which was March 7th, was our last meeting. So I'm going to try to pick up information from there and go from there. And so we'd like to take and approve Nick's minutes of March 20th. Do we have an motion to approve? All in favor, say aye. That's why you have to be on, that's why you're going to have to unmute, Katie.
Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, the minutes are approved. And I want to also mention that we do have a quorum according to our bylaws.
Gary, you're muted again.
Okay, what I'm saying is back, I'm not sure when I got muted, but we have a quorum of 10 according to our bylaws, and we have 15 people here. So this is an official meeting. And we approved the minutes. Now the treasurer's report, Warren, you sent out a treasurer's report of September 30th. You want to address that, please?
Yeah, I can address.
I'm not hearing you, Warren. It looks like we've got everybody muted again. Can we, Katie, can you unmute everybody?
Warren should unmute himself.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. I was going to try to do that. Can you see that?
No.
Oh. Well, we'll try it one more time. Share. Am I allowed to share?
You should be.
Can you see that?
No.
Okay. Well, there's not much to it. We have a balance right now of $1,866.38, $35 in petty cash. The only cost we've had this past month was $15 to pay for our Zoom registration for 1 month. And that's what we're going to agree to do on for now. And if the Zoom works out, we'll extend that that fee for the following months. That's about all there is to it.
Okay, yeah, we had a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of the items that we agreed to do was to, rather than do the free Zoom, which only allows you to go for 39 minutes or 40 minutes, we decided to try this to conduct our meetings. And so it was like $15 to do that. And we agreed to do that. And I guess we look like we'll just continue to do this for a while. I think we'll, at the end, we'll take a vote on that. Reports. We've got a report here of, I want to talk about TLC Toys. It's been difficult because of the COVID to do that. I have had some, about 4 people that have been dedicated that have come over and got wood, or I brought wood, or I picked up cars and so forth. So we are still cutting, but it slowed down. But year to date, we've cut 1,097 cars, and our goal was 900. We have 400 outstanding cars, and I'll address that in a minute. On the birds, we've cut 587 year to date, and we have 200 outstanding. And what I mean by the outstanding is Denny Schuster, back in June or whatever, he picked up enough wood to cut for birds and cars. And he called me a couple of weeks ago and said that he's got 400 cars cut and 200 birds cut, but they're not glued up. And he wouldn't, because of his busy schedule, he wouldn't be able to glue them up until this start in December. And that doesn't work very good because our handouts are really in November, into this month, October, November for Christmas. So Fred Flanagan agreed to glue them up. And so Denny Schuster brought him over to Fred, and he's in the process right now of gluing up those 600 items. Also, what we started to do is that TLC Toys, Jim Barthel, he's got some contacts with some assisted living homes, and some of the senior citizens in there, they're going crazy with COVID, and they like to do artwork. And Jim found some items that were being made by some other company that now is no longer in existence, but they make these little items like a slotted tree, Christmas tree. They make like rabbits and bears and tulips and so forth. So Jim asked if we would be interested in cutting some of these different items, and I said sure, because we're still doing a good thing for the assisted living seniors. So he brought me over a box of these different items, and then I scanned them and traced them and resized them, and he wants about 50 of each one. And so I cut patterns, and I gave some to Roger Elwine, and he's doing cutting a bunch of them. And I was going to give Fred some, but he's got his hands full right now. So that's where we're at on that. So in other words, we're still doing things, and we're doing a few different things. But as far as birds go, Jim doesn't need any more birds. He says he has enough because he normally has to couple those with something else. Now, I'd like to go back now and from March 7th to re-emphasize and bring up what we were at that point. So I'm calling it old business. So one thing is that we had a project going for the Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine that and Katie's article is going to be published in the summer edition, and that did come out in the summer edition. So Katie, thank you so much for writing that wonderful article. And just curious, did you get any replies back from anybody emailing you?
I got one phone call inquiry, and I spoke with him a couple times, but he didn't respond the last time. He's not in Minnesota.
Okay, great. Also, Donna was going to write an article for the fall one or something, winter for, just summarizing our club. Do you know if Donna has started anything on that?
Donna has elected to leave the club.
Okay. Okay. Warren, did you take her off and remove her from the list then? I
was unaware of her leaving the club.
It just happened.
Okay. Well, I guess unless somebody wants to volunteer to write that article for the magazine summarizing our club, it probably won't get done. So
We'll
anyhow,
find somebody.
Yeah. Okay. The next item was, well, let me just stop right here too. And Katie, I want to especially thank you for doing all this legwork for this Zoom. You've been I know it's been a lot of work, and Mike Snyder, you have been a big asset in helping all of this project along, but I think we're making progress. I know, Jeff, you suggested earlier try to do Zoom meetings like this, and so that was a good suggestion. But again, you've been just fabulous in doing this, and Mike Snyder as well. So thank you.
That's good. We're still
Thank you.
struggling. We'll do okay.
We're coming along. Next item, on the scroll saw project pattern for deceased members. We formed a committee of Bill Dean, Katie, and Dennis Schuster. Bill Dean, you were the committee chair of it. Do we have an update on that? Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just have to unmute. No, we actually have not had any discussions because everything kind of stopped dead with the COVID thing, so we will have to restart that.
I did work on a pattern, and it's in discussion. I made the pattern for Wayne Tesh, and Bill and I are willing to work with the lettering so that not every single, either we have one of two things. Either every single letter is a stencil type letter, which is in my mind kind of ugly. The other option is to have regular lettering, and just we'd go in and manually fix the letters that have parts of them that will fall out, like the O and the A and the E. We can do that manually. So then the pattern will have the North Star scroller. It has a, I don't think I can share when I'm the host, but we'll find out in a minute. But
It's a silhouette of either a male or a female at a scroll saw.
That's right.
And then we have written
in memory of. Okay.
Okay, good. So that's moving along real nice, and we have some time. We kind of want to make sure we get it right so that down the road, whenever we need it, it would be fairly reasonable or easy for anyone, I guess, to be able to do it, cut it out, and so forth. Okay, great. And I'm willing to work and help out as much as needed. On our old business meeting in March, I was the speaker for that one, and then for the next meeting we talked about May 2nd meeting was going to be a scroll saw hands-on scrolling in room 102, and Mike Snyder, Bill Dean, and Dylan Trofan were on that committee. And I think Mike Snyder, you are the chair of that. Could you give us an update on that? That just the COVID just kind of wiped out everything here, but go ahead. Want to comment on it, Mike?
Yeah. With everything shutting down, I switched my priorities, and I've been up to my neck in other projects, from running a puzzle auction out of Amsterdam to working on Festival of Trees. Basically, we've done nothing since, and without the forecast that we'd actually be able to get together physically, it's kind of been on hold. But we do need to get some work done. I've got a lot of ideas as to what we will be cutting, and give everybody a chance to try a little bit of fretwork, a little bit of scroll saw work you'd need for Intarsia, and some 3D cutting, and a couple different things. I've got a bunch of ideas. One of the things we're going to have to do is maybe get some help from some people. I've had some offers from people like John saying that we can get some wood. And so I've got plans. We're going to have to work on it. I'm not going to get to any of it before November.
Well, I think that there's not any hurry here, because in order to bring this project to fruition, we have to be able to get together and meet again in some place. So we can talk about that a little later on, but I think you probably got close to a year before it's going to happen. But I think I just wanted to bring it up that our members really want this, and so we don't want to completely lose sight of it. The other thing from the old business was there's going to be a Rockler TLC cutting day, and this was going to be at the Maplewood one on April 18th, and we were going to get a lot of advertising from the Rockler flyer. Unfortunately, this went along the wayside too in April because the manager called me and said that they had to cancel it, and we understood that. So that right now, that's who knows when that's going to happen again. Then we had another cancellation. The Girl Scout leaders Scroll Saw Cutting Training Day was going to be August 15th, 2020. Chair, and Katie, you are the chair of that. You want to comment on it?
She wrote back rather quickly saying she wants us whenever we can get back together in hopes that we don't leave her in the lurch. I told her we would do it again as soon as we can.
Okay. Let's see. Well, there was one other thing. Bill Dean, you brought up and sent out an email on Pegasus scroll saw blades, doing group purchasing and so forth. I know I replied back to you. I imagine things are on hold because if you can't get together, you can't exchange blades. But any comment on that, Bill?
So I did get a few people that were interested, but I'm not entirely sure that everybody paid attention. So, it's certainly something we can still do. And if it comes down to me grabbing a bunch of them and mailing them individually, I can do that too. So it's just a decision that we have to make on our part.
Okay. The other thing that we left at was we needed to have the books, the Treasury books audited, and we looked for a volunteer. Phil Lagarde volunteered, and I know he sent back a letter to Warren and to the board or ourselves that he found that everything was in good compliance to bookkeeping practices. So we had our books were audited, so that was good. I want to thank Phil for doing that and sending that back to you. What else do we have that people? That's kind of what I pretty much had and brought up for new business. Anybody got any comments? Want to bring anything up?
Gary, I have a suggestion. In lieu of our workshops that we were doing, maybe another approach might be for us to collectively identify various YouTube videos that we think would be helpful, and maybe for every meeting bring one up that we think is a good how-to on this, that, and the other. I know that people can go to YouTube on their own, but I think when we found videos that are helpful and maybe identify them, that might be an additional way to add to people's repertoire, so to speak.
I agree. And as I was looking at Zoom, I saw a link to where I can make that happen, but I don't want to be the one to always find a video to do.
Our Woodcarvers Club has found that to be useful sometimes. We've had some people that on their own go out and find some videos either on YouTube or other places. And we've presented those, and we're going to be doing a little bit of that this next, well, actually until next year. But yeah, those are good ideas.
I think that back on our website, I believe there is one heading there that does address that.
Yeah, Gary, that's correct. But I have found it simpler to spoon feed people as compared to the people who want to take the initiative. They're already doing that. However, if you lay a meal in front of somebody, they will probably eat. So,
Right.
And you're right. There are all sorts of wonderful links on our page, and again, but as a practical matter, particularly since we got time on our hand and can't meet, it might be useful to start people's engines, so to speak.
Yeah. No,
Right, and then we know that everyone is seeing the same thing, has seen the same thing.
And I'm more than willing to be part of making videos available, because I mean, I do a lot on YouTube and subscribe to stuff, so it's readily available. I could actually probably give you 10 feeds immediately on this, that, and the other. But again, just food for thought.
no, I agree. A great idea. What I'm proposing is that whatever medium that you use to advertise this, I would like to also put it on the website. We would just add these to the website.
That's fine.
In addition to however you want to advertise it. So Bill, where would we advertise this?
Because we're just getting used to this new virtual approach, I honestly think the best thing to do is send people's emails. I think over time, people will start going to the site once they understand that it's available. But I think we have to take baby steps, and just like feeding the baby, hold their head, turn to the food. So that would just be my approach. I just think for all of us who are easily distracted, it's a lot easier if somebody pops it in my inbox. And I'm willing to be part of doing that. So.
But you're talking about doing it during a meeting, and
Well,
if the meeting.
I think there's two different approaches. We can do it during a meeting. We can also just simply send out an email to people. Here's a good article. So, as an example, one of our meetings, I had mentioned that there was a review of shop vacs and dust collector, and a couple of the individuals at the meeting, they had also read that. But because this particular article told you about which was the best buy and cheapest, etc., it was probably something that everybody could have easily used, because all of us are concerned about breathing fine dust. So we can do it both ways.
If I might throw out there, kind of in along that line, I'm part of another club that does similar things. Like during the middle of a month, they'll just randomly send out an email blast to everybody, and it might contain a link, like you say, to a YouTube video or something that's of interest to the group. And then people can watch it if they want to on their own when they have time. Doesn't necessarily have to be part of a club meeting. Just a thought.
Certainly could be in our newsletter too, right, Katie?
Right, when we get one out.
No, I think that would be real helpful, that Katie would send it out in either the newsletter or like what she normally does to the group meetings, and with all of the links.
Gary, some people have some show and tell. Can we do that pretty soon?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do we?
It's 10 o'clock. Typically, our meeting could go till 11:30. But no, I'm just asking for new business meetings, because the show and tell is going to be the last thing on the agenda. Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up?
Well, Gary, we haven't talked about. We had a Zoom meeting with the Bloomington people on Creekside, and we don't have anything that's going to happen right now, but we can share what we know about that anyway.
Go ahead.
Well, I was on the call, but it was kind of left. It was like an input meeting for people in Bloomington that are holding the purse strings or whatever, about what's going to be happening. They wanted the leaders of the groups that are involved in Creekside, and that was Mike and myself. Katie, you were on there for a while. We talked about how we used it, and they talked about that the building itself at Creekside cost $1.2 million per year, and the city was going to be shortfall of their $84 million budget by quite a bit because of lack of hotels being used and all the other funds that were being normally taken in through, I forget the name of the tax, but like a hospitality tax or whatever you pay when you go to stay at a hotel, because they're not being used as much. So I think the number was like $30 million they're going to be short. So they're going to really be cutting back. I don't know when that's going to turn around. Creekside was already on the chopping block and they were trying to find a replacement for it. Katie, do you have anything else that is worth talking about there?
I think we just have to wait and see. Way back when they were talking about getting us into the art center, but I think we just have to wait and see for them. And I mean, they're very they liked having us, and so they're very likely to help us find a place.
Right.
I think to add to that, for the non-board members that are present here, is that as far as going forward, we don't have a place to meet anyhow if we were able to meet right today, and two, with the COVID and with the Minnesota laws and so forth, as far as group meetings, we're not allowed to have big group meetings. And the third thing is, like Katie mentioned, that our membership is probably 75% are in the high risk category of being in the age group and so forth. And I think that, Katie, you mentioned at our board meeting that I think the board agreed that until we actually have a vaccine, it's probably unlikely that even if we had a place to meet, we would not meet until there was a vaccine. So and from the reports that I get, we're probably 9 months, a year away from a vaccine, if then. So potentially we may not be meeting for another year or plus. So I think this is why this Zoom is really important to us, to keep people in communication. Anybody else? It looks like everybody else is muted here. If you have something to say, unmute yourself, because
That
Gary,
doesn't,
Gary, I agree with you. So I think we should focus on what we can do online, what we can do in terms of individual learning and sharing. And I think it's going to be a work in progress that we'll continue to adjust accordingly. So I think we got 16 people in line, so that means we're committed. So I think we just move forward, and of course we'll update as necessary.
okay. Any other new business or comments that we've overlooked?
There's just one comment from my point of view. Back in March, I took some dues for this current year, and just a few people, I think there were 8. I think Danny, you were one of them, that paid your dues for the year. And we want to give you credit towards the next time we are going to collect dues, hopefully next year, that we'll be crediting your this year's dues towards that.
Sounds
also,
good.
if we can't collect dues until we're giving, we can't collect new dues until we're giving them a good experience. When we've learned how to do this virtual meeting better than we are, and there's more value here, then we might ask for more dues. But I think everybody should just be, count on being a part of the of the club, unless you call me and tell me that you want to get off.
Well, I think what Warren's saying, that the dues that we collected in March for April fiscal year 2020, that whoever paid their dues up front in March, it will apply to the next time that we start collecting dues again. They'll be credited that amount. Anything else? Then let's go with the show and tell. So if somebody's got something to show, raise your hand so Katie can let you go ahead and do it. I can't hear you, Katie. I'm not hearing Katie.
I know. We're gonna go with Mike Snyder first.
Have you enabled everybody to be able to share?
Oh, I don't know that I
Okay.
can do that.
Screen sharing is not allowed just by doing spotlighting. I tried right now and it says I'm not,
Oh, here I go. No, wait, I think, well, let me look at advanced sharing options.
yeah,
One
I
part,
think your only choice is all or none, and it's set at none at the
just
moment.
who can share? All participants can share. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? I'm the only one that can start sharing when you are.
Okay.
Just a second.
Here we go. I've got it.
Oops.
This summer we were invaded by a very small flock of squash mingos. And let's see, I may have to, okay. This computer is very slow. They wandered around for a few days, and some of them wandered over towards the vegetable garden, and this one was left behind going, where'd everybody go? So let's see, how do I switch over?
They didn't get on the road and get squashed, did they?
Ooh, I love that one.
What happened was we must have had some big predator come by, because the whole group that wandered over towards the garden got eaten, and all we had left was drumsticks.
Ooh, another good one. Did you get a lot of comments? Because that is cute what you did. Creative.
It was during the period when Rochester was having a chalk and poetry on your driveway weekend. And so I did get a number of the neighbors coming by, and I had done some chalk drawings and mazes on the driveway. And yes, people were rather amused with them, and the fact that they kept walking around different places every day.
Yeah, neat. Great.
This next photo is a little bit more appropriate for the club. I'm doing ribbon candy for the Festival of Trees. We're going to offer some special, oh, there we go that way, special ornaments that we never sell individually. They're only parts of the tree that we, when people win or buy the whole tree, that the wood carvers make. But this year we're going to do some special ornaments, and since the Festival of Trees is going to be mainly online, they will be part of an online auction. So I will probably let Katie know. The festival is going to be the week of Thanksgiving, so we're likely to have another meeting before the actual festival, but I'll make sure we've got the website and things if people want to check out what's going out online. They also will, instead of having a single event where people can come and look at all of the trees, they are going to have some trees out in public and in various locations. Our tree is going to be at the Apache Mall. They are giving us some empty storefronts, so we'll have some behind glass places that they can view our trees. So I will let people know about that when we start to know some more details. One of the other things I'm doing for underneath the tree, we're doing fun in the snow. And this is the warming palace that's going to be next to the ice pond. And you can maybe see a bit of a glow in the window there. It does have a flickering fireplace going on the inside of this. I've heard some rumors that a bunch of delinquents are planning on playing with this warming house and setting up some sort of snowball machine or something. I don't know what they're doing, but I have a feeling something bad is going to happen to this before it's all installed. So that's what I have.
Nice. Thank you.
Very cool.
Nice job.
Who else has something?
I was gonna ask Mike how he made the ribbon candy.
Well, with my scroll saw, of course.
Looks like you put in about 10 layers.
Yeah, I put in a number of different layers, trying to put different types of woods in there. I did a little bit of trying to dye some wood, but anything thicker than a veneer, I can't get it, the dyes to penetrate very well. So I'm not going to do many with trying to get bright colors, and just going with all the different things. I've got everything from walnut and teak and pine and cedar and cherry. So I just cut very thin strips on the table saw and laminated them all together. And then I created a ribbon pattern for it all. And it takes about 2 hours to cut all of it. I'm nowhere near as good at fret sawing as Jeff and other people are, but
Nice job.
The candy really looked real.
Yeah, it did.
thank you.
So I'm wondering, does anyone have some Christmas ornament patterns that they want to share? Because if I start on something now, I might have it done by Christmas. Might.
You can go on Steve Good's website and you can get a lot of different types of ornaments, but then you can also order ornaments right now. He's taking orders, $1 a piece, and it's like a minimum of 5 ornaments, and you can have people's names in them and so forth. But you just go on his website and it's a great opportunity. I've cut over probably about 35 different ornaments with names on that I ordered through him in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I got 9 of them made up the other day from Steve. Speaking of Steve, he put out in his blog the other day that he is got an incurable disease called I don't know if I can pronounce it, amyloidosis, and it attacks different organs in your body. And so they actually treat it with some kind of chemotherapy, but I don't know how advanced it is for him. Just
that's sad.
we got to think about Steve. He's a very big asset to our community.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got something I can share here, Katie. Raise my
Hang
hand,
on,
I guess.
you got people who want to share something, raise your hand, and that way I can do this in an orderly fashion so we don't have to, but blake in on anybody. And
Raised.
I was just gonna give Warren
Okay,
you ready to go, Warren?
I think so. When I tried this before, when I was treasurer, I tried to share and I wasn't able to, but I think I know why. Now I'm clicking on the share button. Okay, it's coming up, I think. What's going on here? Okay. Here it is. Can you see that?
No?
You have to pick your app, and then you have to hit the share screen button at the bottom.
Yeah, we practiced this the other day. Let's see, how do I get out of this now?
Hey,
It'll be coming, yeah.
Wow, I'm really locked. Okay, back a little bit here. I see it's very slow moving when I'm trying to go between windows.
Looks like it's trying to get here.
Okay, do you have something there?
No, it just says that you've started screen sharing.
Okay.
So go to the bottom of your taskbar and click on the item you want to share.
Yeah. It says I am screen sharing.
No, it says you're starting. On the screen sharing screen, you have to pick which app, and then there's a button on that screen that says start sharing now, or some, I don't know what the wording is.
Share. Boy, I had something set up here. I hope it works. Let's see. Let me start again. I gotta go here. This. I'm almost there, I think. It's just moving really slow.
Do you want me to let Danny go until you figure this out?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it without being allowed to share.
Right.
Now I got my North scrollers up. Oh, I just lost my, I had it on PowerPoint, and now PowerPoint is on.
There we are. No, we see somebody
You
else.
gotcha.
Yeah, but that's not, that was my financial report.
Yeah. So you got to close that one and open the other one.
I got to
Maybe.
open PowerPoint again. Somehow PowerPoint got closed. I don't know why that happened. I had it open earlier. Everything's working very slow when I'm doing this.
I think we're looking at your
Your screen.
desktop. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's opening PowerPoint. Yeah.
I'm trying to open a PowerPoint, but it didn't open.
Let's move. Well, it's going to take a minute to open.
I'm sorry about this. We practiced this on Tuesday, and it came right up for me.
Like
The rest of
like
you,
I said before, it's best if we have all of our programs loaded before you try to share.
right.
I had it loaded.
Aha!
He accidentally closed it.
I don't know how.
Other people, everyone else should look for the place where you can raise your hand, and that puts a hand in your picture, and it tells me that you have something to share. Right now, Danny Judd is the only one that has his hand raised.
I don't know how to raise my hand. I can't find that. I don't know where that is right now.
If you go to the participants window, if you
Uh-huh.
open up the participants on the bottom right of the participants, there should be a button that says raise hand.
Okay, I can't get there right now. Well, here we are. Here we are. Good. Bottom of participants.
Or Mary just
Yes,
did, or
thank you.
Gary just did,
Thank you.
excuse me.
I see it. Thank you.
Sometimes you have to click on where it says more, M-O-R-E, and then that will give you the additional options.
Okay, thanks.
You there yet, Warren?
I stopped sharing because it wasn't working.
Oh,
Now,
well, then I got to get rid of you then.
Look out.
I'm going to
Katie wields a mighty sword.
That's right. I'm going to stop your spotlight. And Danny, are you ready to go?
I can give it a try. I'm kind of scared now, but I'll give it a whirl.
All right. Let me spotlight you. Okay, you're there. Give it a whirl.
How's that?
Nope.
Well, he's working
Yeah,
on it.
there you go.
There you go.
All right, so that you were talking about Steve Good. That's I only start. This is I think one of the very first. I think is the first scroll saw thing I tried back right before Christmas last year. So I'm real new to scroll sawing, right, and got involved in the club right before we couldn't meet anymore. But that was like the first thing that I tried.
On the far right, what is that figure?
I gotta get far right here. That's supposed to be, I believe, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
But, but that's a Steve Good pattern. That was my very first Intarsia and I've since, I'll show you a bunch of stuff that I've been working on, but I'm definitely I tried a lot of different things to figure out kind of what I was going to be interested in, and but Intarsia is definitely kind of my bag, I think, or where I'm headed. But anyway, started with that. Made a few of these deals. It's a canoe guy carrying a canoe. I do a lot of wilderness canoeing in when I can get, when I used to be able to go to Canada. So made a few of those kind of things.
Oh,
Cute.
Made some puzzles. That's the second Intarsia thing that I made. I think that's a Judy Gale Roberts pattern, if I'm not mistaken.
That's nice.
Then I tried a gear clock, and that's a challenge. Getting the gears cut out isn't so bad, but getting it to all work is a little bit more interesting. My granddaughter and I made some little scroll saw ice cream treats for my younger granddaughters to play with. Made that for my wife. She's a quilter. That's a bank I'm gonna give to my grandson for Christmas. Made some little notebooks for the grandkids. And I got back mostly just doing Intarsia stuff now. So I've been kind of doing that kind of stuff. That's what I'm working on right now. I've got 3 sets of these things. These are actually about 12 inches tall, 12, 13 inches tall, each one of them, but still got the snowman to go here. Those are the ones I do 3 sets of them. So that's what I've been up to.
That's amazing. You
the
did.
very
Very
first
cool.
one. Can I ask you a question about the very first one?
Sure.
The hummingbird.
Yeah.
Did you make that pattern yourself, or where did you?
No, that was actually out of a scroll saw magazine that I picked up at a club meeting there. I forget the guy's name. I've since bought a pattern or 2 from him up in Canada. The guy up in Canada.
Garnet Hall.
Yes, Garnet Hall. Anyway, yeah, it was one that was in one of the old scroll saw magazines that I picked up, on the table back there, and just did that. It was kind of fun. It's good, easy one to start with.
Stop.
Hey, Danny, if
Yep.
you send pictures of all of your projects there to Katie, then she will resize them and then she'll send them to me, and then I can load those into our webpage, our gallery, and put your name on it, and so
Yeah.
you'll have them all in the website.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. All right.
Danny,
I'm done. Oh yeah. Yes.
this is Denny.
Yep.
The pattern that you used for the clock,
Yeah.
can you tell me where I can find that? Or
I will, but I can't as I speak. It was a book. I bought a book of clocks. Actually, it was one Woodcraft sells it. I know it's about, and there's probably about maybe 20 different patterns. This was supposed to be one of the easier ones. I found it quite challenging to, like I say, not so much in cutting it out, but getting it to actually function is a little bit challenging.
Thank you.
But yeah. If you go to Woodcraft's site, there is a book that they sell about making gear clocks.
Got it. Thank you.
And I just want to say, I would really appreciate it if you would put your things in the gallery, just because I really like the way you put your choose your colors and stuff, and it would be nice to see
Okay.
that.
All right.
Chris, had you raised your hand and I accidentally
No, I'll raise it sometime.
at some time? Okay, Gary, are you almost ready to go?
Yeah, we'll try it here and see what happens.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey,
Is it there?
yes.
Okay, well, this is a Steve Good pattern, and this one's made out of walnut, and it's probably, I forget, 13 inches high or whatever. And I made several of these out of red oak and so forth, and I did put one into our church's silent auction here in September, and it raised some pretty good money on it. But that's it.
Very nice.
I don't see any more hands. Has anybody got something they want to show and they don't know how to raise their hand?
Even if you want to just hold it up in front of the camera, so if somebody's got anything they want to show that way.
That's right. I can do that.
I don't have anything to show, but I can report on Judy's class a little bit.
Oh, that would be so wonderful.
You have to pause. I decided to hit the road here again rather than wait till this meeting ended. So, so we're driving down the highway here.
Well, you
But,
pull. You pull over. If you want to pull.
No,
If you-
I'm good.
If you want to pull over, I'll show my last project. Okay. Let's see if I can get. Yeah, I can't do that with me.
We can see it sitting in front of you there.
Yeah, I know. I want to.
You want to share screen?
No, I wanted to. Just a minute. Sometimes you see it doesn't let me spotlight myself, so I'll just share screen. I didn't really want to do that.
Well, do you have a separate photo of it?
Do
There
yeah.
it is.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the photo. Let me, okay, I've lost myself now.
Oh, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. See if I can get, well, whatever. I can do it like this, I think.
Yeah.
That's, both Chris and I did this Judy Gale Roberts lion. It was fun.
Oh, it bites.
What?
Very
Watch
cool.
out, it bites.
Nice.
Katie, did you you and Chris make it together, or did you each make one?
We each made one.
Okay.
Can I share mine?
Yep, so let me get you, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll try.
Share screen.
I think I did it, or maybe share. Oh, thank you. You see that or no?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh,
nice.
looks great.
Very nice. Yes.
Very nice.
And then I got one other one too. Let's see if I can figure this out. This is all new. I'm glad we're practicing. Let's see. Screen sharing has stopped. Shared window is closed. Okay. I gotta open it up again, I guess. Sorry. Okay. Can anybody see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that one I did. And I'm working on a few other like Christmas ones also.
Excellent.
So what kind of wood is your really light wood, Chris?
You know, are you talking about, oh, right here, that would be bath
Okay.
on the main. And there was one other thing. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up quickly. One moment here. I gotta figure out how to get out of.
If you go up to the top center, you can select a different app to show.
Okay, maybe I'm okay. Back to share screen. Here we go. You mean share screen again? Yeah, I gotta do that. I think.
Okay, it would have not shut down the share screen. It would just let you switch to a different app that you were sharing. But right now you have to open share screen again.
Okay, got to get back to that. Hopefully I got share. Okay. I was going to show you something that, did that open up into?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I made that last year, but I wasn't able to bring it in. It's pretty large. So, I don't know if I showed anybody. But anyway, that's what I did last year.
Very nice.
Nice.
Lovely.
Thank you. That's about it. This is a kind of a learning experience for me, so it's kind of
How many pieces?
Did you hear the question, Chris?
No, I'm sorry. What
That
was
was a
it?
joke.
How many pieces?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was a
Well,
lot of pieces.
could
I
be.
guess there's 52 or
Hawaii makes up for a few more than.
well, that's right. They got a few little extras if you count it each one.
Did you did you grab that pattern yourself? I mean,
It was a
obviously,
map. I just got a map. I got
yeah. I mean, obviously maps are everywhere, but
I'll tell you, that was not easy.
yeah.
I've seen patterns since where people have actually done it, and I thought, oh, that would have been maybe a little easier, you know. But I didn't actually. I used a map.
I want to do a project like that for one of my granddaughters. Is she's just at the right age where she's going to start learning about states and that. I was going to do that and kind of have her give me a little report on each state as I give her another piece for the puzzle kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a
that reminds me of when we were doing the quilts. I did a map of Minnesota with all the counties, and there's 84 counties, and a lot of them are square. You know? But anyway,
did you help make quilts?
Well, we did each a foot by foot piece of wood. I just did a map of the Minnesota. But anyway, it was just segmentation. It wasn't intarsia.
Chris, I think you have to stop sharing before I can give
Oh,
John.
I'm sorry. Let's see. I gotta get back there then. Okay.
Top of the screen again.
Oh, stop sharing. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And John, I think, yeah, John, you're on.
Okay, well, I didn't find any place to pull over yet, so, but I'll just talk for a second here. Maybe next meeting I'll do a little more of a report, because, but for those of us in Intarsia, that's sort of the, you know, where you strive to go to is Judy Gale Roberts' studio, and it is really fantastic. And there was 8 of us, and we all had a different project. And I think most everybody, you don't finish it, you just get it sanded there, but under her guidance, and it is really special. And there's pretty good lumber yard not far from there too. That's a lot of fun with all the local woods and all kinds of woods. So I don't know. It's just while I got you here too, I've got a guy back in Minnesota that I helped buy a saw, and now he wants to learn Intarsia. I'd like to get him in the club, but should I just get him your name, have him there until we start collecting dues again? Any thoughts, you guys?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, that's all I have for now. Maybe I'll get my project done and show it next time and talk a little more.
Okay. Whoops, I accidentally lowered somebody's hand. I was just going to highlight Bill. Was that you?
Yep, I
Okay.
have the memorial plaque up to show.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight you. There you are. You can go, Bill.
All right. I'm gonna share a screen here. And can you see that?
Not yet.
All right, hold on.
You didn't hit the share screen quite yet.
The green. No, the green.
Yep. The green one down there.
Hey, I'm clicking it, it's not going.
Sounds again my problem.
There.
There you go.
Now it's starting, so it'll come. There you go. Oh, yeah. There's our sample of the memorial plaque. My thought was the way you're looking at it right now is it would be printed on 11 by 17 paper in order to make it the right size, and everything would be cut out except for the dates. I would be willing to wood burn the dates in for anyone who doesn't have wood burning capacity. What I was talking about is to keep this kind of font, but on the O and the A and the E, we would turn those into stencil letters so that they stick together and the middle does not fall out. I'm done talking about that. Bill, you can.
You could put those, instead of cutting them out on the background, cut them out and lay them on the surface.
Right, that's what I was thinking, that we'd have a background behind it, a black.
Right, and just use like 1/4 inch thick wood and can cut the letters all out. Then your O doesn't matter.
That's what I was thinking. Gary was saying that it would be too dangerous to fall off or be out of. What do other people think?
I've done this many times for all my nieces and nephews when they get married, and they do basically the same thing, and
Okay.
it doesn't fall off.
Well, the one thing is falling off, but the other thing is getting them on there all nice and neat and straight and looking spaced properly.
Well,
In addition
I have a
to,
solution to that.
in
I have a
addition to,
solution to that. You take and you lay out either a flexible, if in this case it would be like a flexible curve. So you lay that out, and then you can place them on to get your spacing. Being as though I was trained as a draftsman and lettering was one of my specialties, it's easy for me, but isn't for everybody else. But I still a lot of times use a ruler, lay them out, space them out, and get them so that they look even. And because not letters are all the same size, sometimes it's a matter of just moving them, you know, a little bit closer, a little bit further apart, depending on the proportional size of the letters.
So it sounds like everybody likes the plaque. We just have to work out the details. Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's great.
Well, we need a few people to volunteer. Well, no, not a few. Like Gary says, we're not going to be making a whole lot at any one time. I mean, we're all older, but we're not. I don't plan on dying real soon.
You don't.
But no, but I would not be a good person to cut them out. So we need people to volunteer when somebody dies, like Roger.
my comment
I
was
can do that.
my comment about it falling off the letters, that's if you had a background where you pre-stained it or painted it. And then if you tried to glue the letters onto something that is pre-stained or painted, then they might fall off. That was my comment. But
No, that depends on what type of glue you use.
Well, whatever. I still think cutting out all the letters individually and then putting them back on is going to be more laborious than cutting the letters out as a scroll saw.
No. It's a lot easier than you think.
Jeff, are you going to volunteer then to take this on?
I'll tell you what, when I get my arm fixed, I will make up a stencil that you can put over, so you can, something you lay on the wood and lay it out so that you can lay out your individual letters. How about that?
That'd be nice.
That would work.
You have to get grit paper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do something like you said, like make it out so that something you can print out, lay it on the wood, and then you can place your letters on the, you know.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to ask, I really like it, and that, even that it is a woman, I'm glad in a way, but in some ways I wish we could have a universal, more looking one that you
No, we have two patterns, Chris. One's a woman and one's a man.
Oh, God, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, then Wayne should have gotten, that one should have been.
Wayne has not gotten his yet.
Oh, good, because, okay.
The one that we're doing for Wayne will be a man.
Good. Okay, thanks. Cool.
they actually have both patterns and they use the same text just to show what they look like.
Right.
And he happened to show us the one with the female outline.
Right. He accidentally put up the wrong one.
Do you want me to make that one for Wayne?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, but you realize it probably won't be until after the first of the year that I'll be able to get it added.
I don't know, what do others think? January or now?
Is anybody else ready to do it now?
It's the 16th
Roger?
of November, I go in for surgery and
Yeah.
my arm will be in a sling for 6 weeks, at least.
Roger, are you willing to do it?
Yeah, I could give it a try.
Why don't you work on that, and then we can do it sooner. If you don't get it done, then we'll go back to Jeff in January.
Roger, if
Yeah.
you want some help with laying it out, I'm willing to help you lay it out.
Yeah, we can do that.
I can come over to your place and we can kind of lay it out and get it spaced out right.
Sure. We can give it a go.
Okay.
I may be one-armed at the time, but
Well, that's okay.
Your mouth is not in a sling.
thank you, dear.
Bill,
3 hands are better than no hands.
Okay, so Roger and Jeff are gonna do this one for Wayne Tesh and lay it out. And Nick, you're writing all this up?
wait, No.
What kind of
what
kind
did
of
you,
wood will we be using?
I would suggest we use either a walnut for the background and like a maple or something for the letters, or vice versa, or
Okay.
getting a light background and a darker wood.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Bill, did you have other things you wanted to show?
No, I did not, but I am writing a note. Danny said he wanted some Pegasus blades, so I'm gonna put in the chat box my email address. And if you would email me with the blades you want, I will go ahead and put in a bulk purchase. So I'll put my email address in that.
Could you run that again? Repeat that, please.
I'm going to collect orders for Pegasus blades. So I'm gonna just put my email address in the chat box, and you can just email me what you want, and I'll put together an order.
How would we get the orders if we wanted them from you then?
I'll just have them shipped to me, and then I'll just turn around and ship them out to you.
Oh, that's a lot of hassle.
That's a lot of shipping.
Yeah, and you got to come up with a price too. What you're charging?
Cost. I'm not trying to make any money on the deal. I'm doing this.
It's just a lot of work that maybe I feel sorry that you're taking it on, because I don't know if you really, want to do all that work.
Bill, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can you when you get your list, make like a Saturday or something, go to a parking lot or to the community center, and just everybody pay you and pick it up.
That's a great idea.
Then you don't have to ship anything out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. If you're good with that, I think.
Katie,
I think there's a problem. Danny's got a long drive.
Well, yeah, but
Pick up some
don't worry.
blades.
Nah,
He doesn't
don't
have
worry
to
about
work.
me on that. But one question though, do we get any greater discount? I can't remember when I ordered, because when this didn't happen because of COVID and everything right away, I went and ordered a bunch of blades on my own. But if you order a gross of them, is there much of a break beyond that? I can't remember.
In fact, so the company that I had identified, I had actually sent out a spreadsheet comparing two different sources and stuff, and it was a significant discount. I mean, it's absolutely cheaper than buying them at your local woodcraft store.
Yeah, no, I know that.
It was cheaper than the Steve Good uses a source. I forgot.
I went through Bear Woods is when I bought mine.
And they were definitely cheaper than Bear Wood, because Bear Wood had the same price regardless of quantity, whereas this other one is they discounted based on quantity.
Okay.
I get mine. I use Olson blade, and I get mine through the Art Factory. And when I buy a gross of blades, it's like $29.
Yeah, it's roughly. I'm not looking at the spreadsheet right now, but it was roughly in that area.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen amongst most places. Whether you go The other
QTV was
one, Wooden Teddy Bear, is another one that sells different kinds of blades too. And they're all about the same.
right.
Warren, you have your hand raised. Is there something more that you want to show?
Well, I was going to attempt to do my show and tell.
Good, let's do that.
Well, yeah, maybe people want to drop off because I don't know if I'm going to get it to work, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good to try.
Well, while Warren tries, Bill, do you have a deadline on when you want people's orders in?
How about a week from today?
Okay.
I see something
Ordering
down
on the
there
17th.
that Roger shared. Cool, Roger. You said.
Well, okay.
Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Raccoon, the
They
raccoon.
did this fall or this. That was cover
That's
on
cool.
How many hours did that take? Wow.
girls, me.
Nice.
Very nice.
This one that I finished is, hey,
Your
that was
face
on the
not
cover of
visible
that
on the audio.
last one. What's that?
That was out of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Craft?
Yeah,
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
that's
was,
where we had
that was the summer
and
edition
I
one, and that's
believe-
one
Yep.
that Katie has an article in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many cuts were in there?
I completed.
A
So
lot.
that's all I. What's that?
He asked how many cuts there were.
All of them.
You can
Yeah,
probably
there's a
count
lot.
the number of pieces.
Like I
easier.
tell people, I said, sometimes I watch more TV than I cut, and other days I don't turn the TV on. So
Somehow I lost Warren.
it's just an interesting out of
Yeah,
Red Oak.
What happened to Warren, too?
I can't
How do you
find
cut
him.
your pilot holes?
Roger,
Very
that was,
carefully.
Very careful.
Okay.
Bill, I can
No,
answer. I
there's
can
a lot-
answer how
there's
I
a
do
lot
it.
of holes in that one.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
I use a Dremel drill press stand. Here. That right. Oh, you can't. It's hard to see.
Yeah,
Because,
I'm not saying, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's
I was
what I
curious.
use, and it works. It works very well. And when I can't reach it with this one, I have a plunge router base for that for the same Dremel, and I use that.
See, that's a great tip and stuff, because I know you trying to do it with just a regular
Drill
cordless,
press, yeah.
and a drill press was just a little bit too tedious.
Well, with the thing with the Dremel is you can get this to a higher RPM than you can the normal drill press.
Yep.
So it cuts easier and cuts better.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, makes sense. Thank you. See,
And
that's a
you-
good tip.
And
Thanks.
the main thing too is that you've got your saw set up perfectly square, as well as your drill press has got to be set up perfectly square too. So a lot
Absolutely.
of people don't check the drill press, and if it's not square, it's
I
not
do.
you're gonna have problems. So
I do.
Yeah, I do
Our
too.
first online lesson. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, spending 40 years as a machinist checking things to be square to start with is kind of second nature.
Automatic pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got one more here to show you. That's a butterfly that I did.
Nice.
Now
Tell 'em-
within this butterfly, you've got tigers in there.
Yeah.
You got many different tigers in there, and you got tiger paws.
Katie, can you
It took
stop?
Oh, now I see 'em.
took 3 times to do this one. I had trouble with the type of wood. I ended up doing it in hard maple, which was a denser wood. I tried red oak, and it wanted to break out, strip out. But is what I do on some of the bigger area, you know, when I get one area done, I will take and put a piece of tape over it so I protect it. Same way with raccoon. The big area I cut out, I'll leave that piece right in there, and that way it protects it.
I've had some guy told me that what he did was took the piece that fell out, and then he would tape them all in so they would stay in place, so you wouldn't hold on and break them.
Right, that's very important. Yeah, you got to cover it because your hands are always moving over that surface. So
that happens with some of the fish I
did
make.
during the winter. I told Gary I wasn't going to do any more race cars and that. I had a couple projects to do, so this is more of a challenge than anything. So if anybody needs a pattern, wants to try it, I've got it.
Well, Roger, that's not exactly true, because you've taken some more wood to cut for the assisted living on those 8 different projects. You're cutting those, and you took some more wood for race cars. So you've got a lot on your over there in your garage. So you're doing a little bit of everything.
When do you want the Christmas trees?
No, wait till you get everything done.
Oh, geez, I'm running out of room to put it. I figured I could put it in your garage.
I'm already got too much. But to that point, if anybody wants wood to cut some of these donated items, let me know, and we'll get together to share off or get wood delivered or picked up, or we'll make some kind of an arrangement where we can work that out. But right now we've got about 4 or 5 people that are doing a lot. Joe Hugo and Fred and Roger and myself and Denny Schuster. So that's pretty much the bulk of the people that are cutting right now. Let's move on to talk about our next meeting. Do we want to continue with this process, and would we want to start getting back to our regular meeting? Like, in other words, our next meeting would be a virtual meeting, would be Saturday, November 7th, from 9:30 to 11:30 again?
I think that's a good idea, for now. But why don't we try and plan for maybe when it gets nicer in the spring, just find a park where we can spread out a little bit and kind of meet and at least say hi to each other, and just look at it towards spring.
Well, I think it's important that we keep going. We've got to keep our club together.
Absolutely.
If we don't keep having our meetings and communication, we're going to lose it.
Yep.
So that's very important. We've got some very skilled people there that we don't want to lose.
I agree. I think that we need to keep going with the meetings. We're learning a lot, and people are figuring out how to do sharing and things. So some of this will become more efficient. Personally, the date that you just recommended, Gary, I'm going to be decorating our Festival of Trees that day, so I won't be there, but I still agree that we should keep going with these.
I do too.
I mean, each time we do this, we're going to get better at it.
Absolutely.
Always work, and I can't tell if it's charging or not.
Well, if we want,
Really sensitive.
We heard you, John.
so if we want to continue with monthly meetings like we have been, they'll be virtual. And I would like to stick with the first Saturday of each month, except for September, and then we wouldn't meet in the summertime. We stick with our regular schedule then, rather than trying to pick a different date every month. That would because there's always going to be somebody that's not going to be able to make it. And this way you can put it on your calendar like we have been doing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Keep it up that way.
Okay, so our next meeting is virtual Saturday, November 7th from 9:30 to 11:30. Any other business we want to bring up before we adjourn?
I'm wondering if we should have a couple extra board meetings in there so that we can talk about what the board needs to direct the rest of the people for, if there are more issues anyway. What do you think?
We could do that. I think it'd be a good idea.
Hey, Mike, can you and I work together on some educational stuff that we prepare for meetings, be it just a YouTube video or a link, MOUSE? And anybody else who's interested in being part of that?
I can try to help. Like I say, I'm kind of busy with the festival until later on in November.
I'll do some of it.
Okay, well, again, it may be as simple as sharing emails among a few people and then collectively deciding and then just simply presenting that to the group.
Right.
We do not have to make it a big project because everybody already has some favorites, I'm sure.
Right. We'll get Mike Zank involved. He was not able to be here today because of a funeral.
Katie, in regards to the board meeting, what if we just, if you've got some ideas or questions, send out, to try to do it with an email to the board.
Okay.
And then if we feel that we need to do an official board meeting by Zoom, we can do that.
Okay.
All right. Any other business?
Big thank you to Katie for putting this together.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Big
Thanks a lot.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that a motion.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Bye.
Okay. We will see all of you. We'll virtual meeting next Saturday or Saturday, November 7th. Nick, look forward to seeing your minutes.
Yep.
And Nick, congratulations again there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Talking to me or just talking?
What'd you say, Dave?
I have my headset on.
Oh.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm
It was a
ending it now.
successful meeting. Thanks, Katie.
Okay.
Katie?
Bye-bye.
Katie,
Yes?
my computer,
Yes, she had an
Yeah.
insurance.
I'll get
vehicle
you
over
later,
there
Warren.
yesterday.
I'll get you later. I'm ending the
Yes.
meeting now. Bye, everyone.
Yes, bye.